In every metric that is of vital importance to humans, such as life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the right to reproduce, the right to raise our offspring, in all of these categories, men fall woefully behind women. It is not even close. Life expectancy in every nation on earth is lower for men than women, usually by as much as a decade. The incarceration rates across the world, and especially in America, hover near 100% male. More than 7 out of every 10 suicide victims we bury are male. We are removing our men from society in an ever-increasing number. We are getting our asses handed to us, and we do not even realize there's a fight going on. We are acting as though everything is normal. We're acting like we are thankful for losing. 96% of work-related deaths are men. Men make up 94% of all combat-related deaths. In America, women can join the military if they want to. They have a choice. Men must sign up for a selective service, meaning if the government wants to send us to war, we have no choice. Men must sign up for the draft at 18 or they face losing their citizenship. And the women who do choose to join the military never have to worry about being called into combat. Men are getting beat in education too. Women have made up the majority of college students over the past decades, and the gender disparity in colleges is increasing every year. Boys are being targeted for mental illnesses and put on drugs in our schools. Boys make up 75% of children on prescribed psychoactive drugs in America. We are drugging our sons by the millions. Millions of infant boys are circumcised every year in America without any anesthesia. Circumcision is genital mutilation. Circumcision is the very definition of genital mutilation. Yet, in America, while it is a federal crime to genitally mutilate a female, it is a common practice to do it to males. It is a choice. We choose to cut the genitalia of our infant sons. Sex crimes, an almost exclusively male-punished crime, is sentenced more harshly than women who murder. On average, a man who is caught with digital pictures on his computer will be sentenced more harshly than a woman who murders her own baby. People wonder why the Catholic priests were able to get away with so much unpunished child molestation, and it was because it was mainly male victims. If it were female victims, we would have stormed the cathedrals with armed SWAT. Male victims of female sexual abuse, especially in positions of abuse of power such as teachers, are said to be lucky. A man such as a teacher who molests young girls are lucky to not be dragged into the town square and lynched. Women who molest young boys are handled with kid gloves, and the male victim must hear constantly about how lucky he was to be molested. $20 billion a year is transferred from men to women in the form of what is ironically called child support. That is a larger amount than most giant corporations like Nike, the NFL, McDonald's make in a year. This transfer of money is enforced at the point of a gun. It is a federal and a state crime in every state to fail to pay child support. Tens of thousands of men are locked up every year because they cannot afford to pay child support. We have given the state and our women an incentive to separate us from our children. We are having our children taken from us by force and made to pay money to the state under threat of incarceration for being fathers. Being a father can make you a criminal. Men are vilified, mocked, and beaten for entertainment. I challenge, nay, I dare anyone to watch a week of entertainment and count the amount of times that a non-villain hits the member of the opposite sex or threatens violence. I say non-villain because as a method of proving how evil a character is, doing things like kicking puppies or slapping women is proof of villainy. Now, I guarantee you that you will be hard pressed to find any evidence of men hitting women, but you will find a disturbing amount of women hitting men. It is not only acceptable in our culture, but it is a form of entertainment and comedy at times. Kind of like how we joke about men in prison dropping the soap, yet cannot even mention female rape without having to trigger warn women for their delicate sensitivities. Oh, if you want to know who is in charge, look at who you cannot mock. Yet, even though men make up the vast number of homicide victims, suicide victims, the homeless, the incarcerated, males make up the vast number of those who die at work, die at war, and die by crime. And even though men make up the vast number of those depicted as evil in the media, boys make up the vast number of genitally mutilated children, and boys make up the vast number of drug children. And even though males die earlier than women, even though we know all of these things, still, the greatest amount of help, services, and support go to women. Instead of having a serious discussion on why we need to stop such a barbaric practice as slicing, or at times biting, the skin off of our sons' genitalia, we are discussing why women are not making more money. How horrendous is it that women who do none of the dangerous low prestige jobs and most often work in very comfortable environments with good benefits want more money? To them, that is an issue that is much more vital than surgically altering our young boys' genitalia. Every study done has shown that each person on earth has a limit on the amount of concern they can show different things. Concern is not an inexhaustible supply. Our tank of concern is actually pretty small. What takes up more concern and attention in one thing takes away concern from another. What we choose to focus on is a good indicator of what we care about. Caring about grown women more than infant boys is very telling. Men are losing. This war was started a long time ago, and we did not even know. Women make up a very small fraction of victims of violent crime, yet we have a national campaign to end violence against women. Due to the Violence Against Women Act, females are a protected class in America. The punishment vetted out by the justice system will mandatorily be more harsh if you assault a woman than if you had assaulted a male. Even though they have protected class status and they make up a very small fraction of the victims of violence, it is still a well-funded and highly talked about subject. It is almost as though women are all that matters, as though women are special and needed to be treated as such. I have never seen a national debate about violence against men. It is almost as though nobody cares about men. And that is because it's true. Nobody cares about men, not even other men. We have all been told since birth that the order of importance is women, then children, then men. Women and children first has been a societal mantra for generations. Treating people with equality by definition means not treating one group as more special than another. Better than. In all surveys, women are happier with life than men. Yet we constantly ignore men and focus all of our resources and attention on women. This needs to change. It is time to start taking care of each other, helping each other. This is a fight, and it is a time that we start working together to win. We need to get medics to those who are wounded, artillery to those who are already in the midst of battle, air support to those that are locked down, rations to those who are in need. This is a fight for our sons. This is a fight for our brothers. This is a fight for our fathers. Men, It is now time to fight back. It is now time for us to stand up for ourselves. It is now time to end this killing of men, this vilification of men, this removing men from their children, this society that cares nothing for men. Let's rise up and be proud, men. It is time. Subscribe to this channel and start the process.